No, no. Hi everybody and welcome to Game Slobs Dungeon Keeper 2 edition. My name is Coopz and today we are going to be covering, obviously, Dungeon Keeper 2. Now this is just a follow on from my original Dungeon Keeper 1. I just wanted to show you the differences between the two games. So we're going to go ahead and complete the final level on Dungeon Keeper 2.
Heartland.
Which is Heartland.
The king himself awaits your pleasure, and from what I hear, he is not very happy.
Not very happy.
It seems he was a little distressed on hearing of your handling of his sons, and has sworn to exact a terrible revenge on you.
The handling on his sons.
This is the final battle. King Reginald is a mighty foe, protected by the finest warriors in all Harmonia. To defeat him is a formidable task. You will need your wits about you, and the mightiest force of evil ever assembled. Dethrone this once proud king, and claim his throne for yourself. Let the land above beware. Darkness comes, and with it all the horrors of the night. Slaughter King Reginald and his men. Claim the last portal gem. Your greatest victory awaits. Good luck, Keeper.
That all sounded, if you play that back, that all sounded really suggestive, like you know, dethroning the king and whatnot. But we'll move on from that.
Your evil reign ends here, Keeper.
So that's the king. We've got to kick his ass.
Now the doorway to the outside world awaits. But mark, the king's defense will be relentless. Make your way inside his keep, to crush him on his own home ground. Your creatures require a place to rest. Build them a lair.
So, as with the previous Dungeon Keeper, I actually slightly edited the map. Well, yeah, I've gone ahead and just done that again with this one, just purely for saving time. And I've given myself all the types of creatures you can get, just so I can go through them. I've put all the rooms down except for 2, because in the editor they strangely aren't an option, so I will add them in a memento. So without further ado, let us move on. So first of all, you got your dungeon heart here, like in Dungeon Keeper 1, but this time they decided to add a small treasury around the edge.
Don't abuse it.
I won't abuse it. Around the edge you've got a small treasury, so you don't actually have to have a treasury initially to get gold. This makes life a lot easier when you're setting up a dungeon, because in Dungeon Keeper 1, if you suddenly ran out of gold and you didn't have enough to actually build a treasury, then you're kind of stuck and you've got to restart the level, which was a bit of a cacky design. So Bullfrog fixed that in this game by adding a little treasury around your dungeon heart. So I'm going to go ahead and build us a lair and a hatchery, because they're the 2 rooms that I haven't built yet, and they're kind of crucial for not pissing off your minions. So in Dungeon Keeper 1 you had to go through each tile clicking to actually build it. What I like in this game is they've actually created where you can just drag and drop and it will build the entire room for you. This saves so much time. And it's the same with digging as well. You can just drag to select the area. Now I've already gone ahead and dug out all the areas that I actually need, so yeah, don't need that. Right, and I need to build a lair. Sorry about that, the game just kind of bugged out a little bit there. So I'm going to go ahead and just build the lair up, like so, but now I've run out of gold, so I can't build the rest. Yes, I can. There we go. So now all your creatures, because they're all very unhappy because I have left them for 2 whole seconds without a lair, and that kind of makes them angry. So by default, all your creatures will if they can't go outside, they will go straight to the training room and start training. So that's all good. So that gives me plenty of time while they train to show you the rest of everything else. Now I am just going to go and do a little cheat here. Now the rain has gone, and you will notice the entire map has been revealed. Yes, I am a dirty, filthy cheater. Get the hell over it. So now for this this purpose of this little video, I've added in lots of mana vaults for myself and some gems, just so I don't have to wait around for my mana to restore and to get some gold to actually carry on with the game, because I am very thoughtful like that. So we can actually fly over here and just see the enemy. This is where we've got to get to. Now the enemies in this game are just 1,000-fold on what they were in Dungeon Keeper 1. They've got different tasks to do now. They have their own set of achievements, so they will come and destroy your dungeon rather than just wandering around aimlessly searching for a resolution to life that will just never come.
Because he has no food.
On some levels you actually find these, which are like random creatures. Not sure why they're there, and they're in an area that you can't actually reach normally. I'm not sure whether I can actually... Yeah, I can drop a... There we go. Grab myself a little...
Behold,
marvellous.
the mighty Zachariah.
The mighty Zachariah.
Treat him well, and he could prove to be a most beneficial ally.
He's actually an elite creature, and I have elite on all of them, so I'll show you through them later. Let's go back to rooms. So I've shown you the lair, I've shown you the hatchery. Obviously the hatchery is where the chickens hatch and your creatures go and eat. This game I do find that creatures lose their temper a lot easier than they did in the first one. And you do get the narrator trolling you quite a lot with creatures that are hungry and angry, particularly biodemons. They become angry because they haven't been paid. It's just that they move so goddamn slow that they're actually walking over to the treasury, and they've just not made it there yet, so it's quite irritating. And again, it's slightly bugged out there for a second. This isn't usual. I'm putting all the bugs down to the fact that I've heavily edited this level to ways it kind of shouldn't actually be edited. So yeah, this may happen a few more times. Hopefully not, though. I'll cut it all out in editing, so you probably won't know much about it. So we've got the library, which is a place where all your creatures will go and research spells for you. As you can see, this gold bit around the edge grows as they are learning them, so that's always helpful. In the previous game you had to go to a sort of, you know, question area that like status, and it'd tell you what level you're at, but this one's quite different. You'll notice they're absolutely flying through it, and that's because this vampire here is level 10. Now I'll tell you later why I set him to level 10. So then we've got the training room, which I briefly went through earlier. It's where all your creatures go to train. Now in this game, unlike in Dungeon Keeper 1, there are actually two kinds of training rooms. The first is this one. The second is this one, which is the combat pit. So in the training room in this one, they can only get to level 4. Then they have to go into the training pit where they can train up to level 8. If you want to get them to level 10, you actually have to find secrets, which I will cover in a bit. I'm sure there's a fair few secrets around the map that I can show you. So we'll move on. Treasury is quite self-explanatory. Your imps will get treasure and drop it in the treasury. And you got your workshop, which is, in my opinion, in this game is a bit of a ball ache. Generally speaking, you have to lock your biodemons and your trolls in there to actually get them to do anything in there. They they very rarely just go in and spend the time you need to actually build the traps. Unlike in Dungeon Keeper 1, where they would just go in there and build until the place is full. So I'm not sure which one I prefer, but the workshop in this one, obviously they only build as and when. They build on demand. Okay, so then we'll move on to one of my favourite rooms, just purely because it makes the best music when one of your creatures wins. It's the casino. Your rogues will automatically go into the casino because they're just gamblers at heart. So you will know when someone wins because the song Burn Baby Burn plays, and I apologise if I start singing along with it. Thankfully you won't see me dancing to it. That's a pleasure reserved for very special people. But it is like the best thing in this game when someone wins the jackpot in the casino.
Because he is in the company of creatures he hates.
You've got the guard room, which works very much the same way that it did in Dungeon Keeper 1, yet it looks much prettier in this one. Your guards, and you've got some archers. They will all patrol around here, and anyone who comes within, as you can see, there have actually been battles around here for some gold. They will just kick their ass. I've set some traps here for anyone who does come through this portal, which heroes do spawn from this portal. I'll just put the traps in there just to keep them out of my dungeon and stop me getting trolled by them. So then we've got the torture chamber, which is back with a vengeance, another one of my favourite rooms. They lure the mistresses into your dungeon, and they will just go and sit in there and torture themselves just because it's fun. Yeah, that was a question. So they will go in there. I've just dropped her in the training room because otherwise they just won't train. My dungeon has been breached. Well, this is most irritating.
Your graveyard is under attack.
My graveyard is under attack, apparently. Which is over here. Ah, look at that. That's just irritating. Because I'm a bit OCD when it comes to my dungeon, and I don't like people trolling me. Now, in this game, you notice they get stunned when you drop them, which is slightly irritating because you have to overcompensate for where you're dropping creatures, otherwise they just land on the floor and get their ass handed to them, which isn't ideal. Which kind of actually leads on quite nicely to the next room, which is the prison. So I'll just wait for these to die, and then I'll use the Create Imp spell so they can come in and capture these cretins who are attacking my dungeon. So they will come along and grab the bodies. They will grab the bodies. There we go. And I'll just rebuild my graveyard. Apparently there's another battle going on. Obviously not. Okay, so they drag them into the prison. So here you've got your enemies in the prison. Now you can heal the enemies up. The heal spell in this one is a lot more pungent, should we say, than it was in the first one. So then from there you can pick your enemies up and carefully drop them into the torture chamber. Now there's different effects that the torture chamber has depending on where you drop them. So I'll drop him on this one. Quite standard, he just spins around in a circle. I think spikes are stabbing in his back, although you don't really see that. You pick him up, you can drop him on this one, and it's much the same, but this time he gets set on fire, which is ever so joyous to see. Or you can drop him in this one, where it will turn him upside down into the water. But my personal favourite is this one, the electric chair, and it just fries them, which is ever so amusing. Alternatively, you can just leave them to rot in your prison, and they will turn into skeletons. Failing that, you can slap them to death, like so, and they will turn into a corpse and drop some nice gold for you. And being a corpse, your imps will come along and drag them into, yes, you guessed it,
A Black Knight
the graveyard.
because he's in the company.
And again, this is exactly the same as it was in the first game. You put enough dead bodies in there and they will rise as a vampire. So I quite like vampires because, as with the first game, if you kill a vampire they come back and just drop down a level. So I'm going to just go ahead and slap all of these to death. Actually, no. This troll, I'm going to let him live because that is basically the enemy's version of an imp. So I will keep him. The rest are just going to die. For the pure fact that I've got enough of them, so yeah, it's fine. There we go, and they're all dead, so then you can go ahead and pick up all the gold. Some nice amounts there, and you just drop it in your treasure. Cool. So, that's that. Then we've covered the combat pit. Finally, you've got the temple, which, again, like in Dungeon Keeper 1, you can drop creatures in here and the gods will bless you with various other things. You can actually now, in this one, you can use spells. So that's one thing I didn't cover actually in Dungeon Keeper 1, the possession spell. So you can actually take control of your minions. I never actually showed you, but it's pretty much the same principle, just much worse graphics. So you can take control of your creatures and use their skills. So that's always quite fun. You can wander around as your creatures. And just go for a quick wander out here. Ah, I've locked that door. Good, good, good. Nice thinking there. So, so let's go through all of our creatures. So you got your goblins. On their own, absolutely bloody useless. They'll go in, be attacked a bit, and then run away screaming like a little girl. But in groups, they're actually quite good, and a bit braver. Warlocks.
The graveyard is under attack.
Excuse me while I just take care of these cretins attacking my dungeon. Where is my Dark Angel, who is totally OP?
The Royal Guard has become unhappy because he is in the company of creatures he hates.
Now you'll notice the narrator keeps saying that the Royal Guard is in the presence of in the company of creatures he hates. Yeah, that's because I've got all the heroes on my team as well, so I will obviously cover that. Oh, look at this. So I'll just show you the overpowerliness of the Dark Angel when I can target him. There we go. So this is a level 10 Dark Angel, so I'm going to go ahead and just go and kill all these. Bang. One dead. Another dead. Another dead. Just kill them all. And I'm just going to let them die in my prison. And I'm just going to put a stop to these guys attacking my dungeon because it is increasingly annoying. Smash the door down. Ridiculous looking Captain Rabbit King. So just go in here. Oh, there's a secret door here.
A rogue has become unhappy because he is in the company of creatures he hates.
So this is a point where, oh, I just got rolled over by a boulder. That actually didn't hurt me in the slightest. So, so there we go. That's that taken care of. So my imps will now come in here and destroy this area. Unfortunately, you have to take out that bit, so you've got the whole perimeter of this, and then they'll destroy that, so nothing else spawns. Now then, let's turn us back around so we're in the right place. Okay, so where was I? Okay, you've got your Firefly. They are ever so entertaining. They are bloody useless. They pretty much just wander around and go and get themselves killed, which is always nice. Your trolls, they are good for working in your workshop, as previously stated. You've got dark elves who will go around in the guard room and just stop these morons coming into your dungeon. Stick him in there. And you've got skeletons who, unfortunately, with skeletons, they are quite good at like sort of throwaway minions. This one I've got, which is like an elite one called Bane. That may be a reference to Batman, I do not know. But if they die, they are gone for good. Whereas all your other minions, when they die, they just pass out. So your imps have got a chance to go and grab them and bring them back to the lair, where they will restore all their health and be a bit grouchy, obviously, go get some food and whatnot. So there's not such an easy chance, like in Dungeon Keeper 1, it's not such a big chance of them actually just dying and then your whole team's wiped out, leaving your dungeon wide open for the enemy to come and attack. So then you've got your mistresses, which are one of my favourites. They are actually quite weak in this game, but they do help torture people in the torture chamber. As you can hear, a lot of people are dying in the prison, which is ever so nice. Salamanders, another one of the creatures that I just really hate. Just like, what the hell are you? Where did you come from? They weren't in Dungeon Keeper 1, I don't think, and they just kind of appeared in Dungeon Keeper 2 as this really irritating throwaway minion who would just constantly come through the portal, and they're just useless.
Well,
so
you've sacked the staging post, and thus have blocked this way for heroes to traverse.
There you go. So my that's basically just telling me that my minions have taken over this area here. So you see now they've destroyed that, so the heroes won't be coming from there anymore, which will be quite a breath of fresh air actually. I'm going to tell them to dig this out so they can go around here. I might just dig out this gold steam just for the lols of it. I'm just going to save it.
Game saved.
As simple as that. So dig out these areas, and that'll just stop the enemy coming to attack me while I'm trying to talk to you. I mean, it is just downright rude, really. You know. And plus there's another portal down here. We'll cover that in a minute.
Jackpot winner!
Yes! We have a jackpot winner!
A creature has died in your prison.
I'm listening to the music.
As a skeleton.
Honestly, it's so rude. Okay, little fireworks. Get ready, people. Sing along with me. Burn, baby, burn. I mean, it does go on for unnecessarily long. It's like, really? But I do like how all your minions, they actually groove along. Now, how do I zoom in? There we go. I'm loving that skeleton dance. They've got the whole John Travolta moves going on. Sing it, people. I wish I had moves like that goblin. And there we go. That is all you get, I'm afraid. So, let's move on, shall we? From that joyous, momentous occasion.
Died in your prison and has risen as a skeleton.
So, we are now looking at biodemons. They are very irritating in this game. Very, very irritating because they're so slow and they just moan all the time. But they are great for punching bags in the combat pit. And they level extremely fast in the combat pit. So you can just... I mean, I could probably level these to level 8 just by leaving them here and healing them.
Warlock has become unhappy because he has no work to do.
So, a Warlock is unhappy because he has no work to do. I mean, seriously? Anyway, swiftly moving on. Now, your Vampire, much the same as it was in Dungeon Keeper 1, when he dies, this level 10 one, when he dies, he will come back as a level 9 vampire. The issue we've got is that you can't put them in the combat pit, for the simple reason that if they die in the combat pit, then they will lose a level. So it's kind of counterproductive, so you've really got to keep your eye on them and just keep healing them to level them up, which is way too much work for me. Same with the skeletons, you can't put them in the combat pit because if they die, they're gone. You lose them. It's like, wow, that's just nasty. There's so many levels. You've got your Dark Knights, which also are pretty good in the combat pit. They will, by default, go up to the area here. Wow, I have been trashed up there. And then you've got your Dark Angels, which are just like the most overpowered thing in the entire game. So, enough of this explanation malarkey. There's your spells, you can drop fire bombs, and you can, if someone comes onto you, oh dear, I just killed one of my own creatures. That was clever. It's good to be bad. You've got your heal spell, your call to arms spell. Now this one doesn't have a radius like it did in the original game, so you put it down and your creatures will just go there. Pure and simple. So what I want to do is I'm going to just drop the flag here and hope for the best. Feel the power.
A creature has died in your prison.
So there we go, now everything's level 10 now, so we're going to just finish these bad guys off, as you do. I'll just quickly go through all of these traps while they take a trip up there and just smash the crap out of the enemy. You got a wooden door, which obviously is a door. Brace door is a stronger door than a wooden door. The magic door, which is, I'm pretty sure, the strongest door, which actually fights back, which is quite amusing. Then you've got your sentry trap, which I did have up here, but has been completely annihilated. Fear traps basically scare certain enemies away, so they won't actually come near it. Gas traps, like in Dungeon Keeper 1, you put them down, and it'll gas people out whenever they come near. Trigger trap, no idea.
Your creatures are unable to get to the call to arms flag.
They'll get there eventually, chill out. You got your freeze trap, which is just it just freezes them on the spot for a bit. Your fire burst trap, which again, like in Dungeon Keeper 1, it just blows up. Barricades, which just block the area. More doors. A secret door, which basically hides the area. So if I just do that, it makes the wall appear as if it is still a wall. So the enemies won't actually attack it unless something walks through it, and then they realise, oh, that's a door. Guard post, yeah, I never even bother with that. Alarm trap just is basically a static version of the call to arms flag. Spike barricade is a stronger version of the barricade. Boulder trap, it's not as good as the one in Dungeon Keeper 1, which would just roll over anything and kill everything in its path. This one's a lot weaker and can actually just roll straight through creatures without hurting them that much. And then the lightning trap, which stuns the enemy. And that is that. You've got your human variations of your minions. Dwarves, which are actually imps. You've got your guards, wizards, warlocks, giants, biodemons, Elven Archer, Archer, Monk, Vampire, Fairy, just die, because that's the opposite of a fly. Why you'd want one of them, I have no idea. Royal Guard, yeah, and a Maiden, which is a bit of a random one, but yeah, that's your Maiden. So, to finish this, we have to kill these guys. So, there they go. Okay, so I did promise I would quickly go over secrets. So, let's see if we can find some secrets around here. Somewhere. Anywhere. Go to the map view, and normally a secret around somewhere. That's gold. Ah, there we go. A secret. So that's heal all secret. Now there are more secrets. There's make happy. There's make angry. Make happy obviously makes all your creatures happy. Make angry makes the enemy creatures angry. And you can actually, with 2 of those, you can win a level, which is slightly insane. But they do actually, because your creatures are angry. They will just walk out of your dungeon and leave. So that's slightly amusing. What other ones are there? There's gain mana and gain gold.
It is payday.
And various other ones. So this is the final part of the video that I wanted to show you. I was saving this till last. I didn't show you the bridges. There's wooden bridges for water and stone bridges for... I may have rushed this level a little too much. Stone bridges for lava. So when creatures are walking in water, they actually move slower. And your imps can't actually carry anything from the water, so you have to put a bridge under them so they can take them. So now they're going to come along here and hom the area. That's a technical term for it, as we discussed in Dungeon Keeper 1.
A royal guard has become unhappy because he has no food.
I don't care. So I'm just going to get to about here with the homage, which is claiming, and then I'm going to finish these off. Now your minions can't actually hurt these because they are stone knights. There is only one way that you can kill these nasty people. Stop it, skeleton. Just heal yourself. And that's with summoning the Horned Reaper. Dungeon Keeper 1, the Reaper was actually a minion that you could have. In this game, you have to actually summon him, which is ever so slightly different. And he will consume a very, very large amount of mana. Once your mana runs out, he will bugger off, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and release the beast, as it were. No, I didn't mean... You know what I mean. So now, Horny will go for a wander, and unfortunately you can't pick him up or control him, so he will just walk around aimlessly, doing exactly what you don't really want him to do, which at the moment is attacking the door. I kind of want him to go that way, but okay, we'll humour him and follow him around. Okay, so now we are ready to take them on. So I'm going to resummon Horny, because I previously slapped him when we cut just there. And he's going to go in and take them out. I hope. And then after this, it will be the ending cinematic of the game. So, for those of you who haven't yet completed this game, which, I mean, if you haven't, where have you been? Then, please just stop watching. There we go. So at the end of every level, Horny will spawn himself, even if you have already spawned him for some reason, and he will go and apparently float backwards and forwards like a madman before wandering over to the portal gem, which is the whole point of this game, is to collect all the portal gems so you can open the portal to the overworld. Lovely little cinematic there. Not much of a cinematic really, but there you go. Okay, so now that's gone off, I'll zoom back out. Now, much with the first game, you can carry on playing if you like, and just, you know, make the perfect dungeon if you so desire, or you can hit the spacebar, and wow, that's a lot of enemies, and you can finish the level, like so. Here it is, the ending cinematic. And there we have it. So, here is the history of what happened. We got this game, and we completed it way back when. Obviously, you can tell from the graphics it's quite an old game. Then suddenly, there was no real mention of Dungeon Keeper 3 being released. Bullfrog did mention it a few years later, but the project was cancelled, leaving all the Dungeon Keeper fans, such as myself, thinking, is that it? Is that the end? You're just going to leave the story there, with the Horned Reaper walking through the portal to the overworld, and then nothing. I mean, I for one would relish the opportunity to go to the overworld and just wreak havoc. And my imagination went wild with all the things that I thought it would be. I was thinking, well, maybe it's going to be sort of less Dungeon Keeper-y and more like your Age of Empires style, you know. But apparently not. For my friends, Dungeon Keeper 3 never happened, and never will happen. Instead, Electronic Arts gave Subterranean Games the permission, should we say, to create War for the Overworld. Unofficially, Dungeon Keeper 3. Because, let's be fair, this whole game is about getting the portal gems to go to the overworld. And Bullfrog themselves were actually going to call the game Dungeon Keeper 3 War for the Overworld. So it is pretty much going to be Dungeon Keeper 3. The game, I have actually played the beta, however you want to pronounce it. I played that for quite some time. I've watched it evolve as such and progress. The game still hasn't been released, but for you lucky viewers, I will be doing footage on the beta, whatever. So you can all see where it's at the moment and where it's going to be going. I will take you through each and every step of the beta until it is released. So tune in for that. That will be coming once a week, every Tuesday night at 5 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. So be sure to check back every Tuesday for that from now on. Please like, subscribe and leave a comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have, including a few hints and tips if you need any help actually completing Dungeon Keeper 1 or 2. I actually know all of the cheats, but you can find them online. And I can give you some good links for the editors if you want to have a little play around with the editors and create your own levels. That is actually quite fun. I have done it myself. For Dungeon Keeper 2 it can be quite complex, the editor, but give me a shout if you need anything, and I will see you next week for GameSlob's Dungeon Keeper, but we won't call it Dungeon Keeper, we'll call it War for the Overworld. See you later, guys.